being that
Sure.
being that we do more intimate sessions like this, we like to get to know the people that we're speaking to.
Okay. I am from Kansas City, Missouri,
Oh,
and I am the founder and director of the Python's Drill Team. Been doing this now for 35 years. Love every day, every minute of it. And we travel. We travel a lot. We've been a lot of places. I've done a lot of things, and just like Coach Ty said, it's up, 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 down, 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 up, 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 down, down, down. So that's what the Python's got going on right now. I'm looking forward to bigger and better things as usual every year.
Nice. That's awesome. And that's it's like a dance team.
A drill team. We perform to drums.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Very nice. All right. And Miss Allison.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Allison Mason, and I'm on my second business now. My first business was a travel magazine. I've traveled to almost every continent, and I typically write about it. My travel magazine was basically for the audience of Black travelers because we're so underrepresented in travel media. But my new business is By Words, and it is a content business. So a lot of people need content for their website. They need press releases and newsletters and things like that. So that's what we do, a lot of small business marketing and growth.
Oh.
So, my second business that I sort of got forced into when COVID took my job. So we've been in business for about a year now.
Very nice. That's awesome. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Good morning. I'm doing okay. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for joining us. So you didn't really miss anything. We just went over a couple of intros, who I am, who Ty is. So in a nutshell, my name is Dyme Smith. I'm hosting today's webinar. I do a whole bunch of things. Ty introduced himself. He is our angel investor on the line today, and we're going to be talking all about getting funding for your business. So tell us a little bit about you, and if you have a business, what kind of business you have.
Sure. Well, my name is Ryan Ross. I come from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in Canada. And I used to be a bartender for 11 years, and I was at a casino for the last 5 years. With the pandemic, I had to do something different. So in almost a year ago, I bought a gem cutting machine from India, and I decided that I was going to start a gem cutting business, or a precision fastening business. Where I live in Saskatchewan, there's only one other person who does the type of thing that I do, and his name is Jim Botha. He's a famous diamond cutter. He cut the 4th or 5th largest diamond in the world. But anyways, so that's what I'm doing. I'm starting up a gem cutting business. I'm self-trained for the last 8 or 9 months. I paid a bunch of masters from the States to train me via webcam and stuff like that as well too. So I've passed the stage of practicing on that, and now I've moved on to actually creating jewelry out of, like morganite and sapphires and stuff like that.
That's really cool. All right. Well, I definitely would like to hear more and maybe see something, a little bit later on. We're gonna kind of just jump in and talk a little bit about everything that we got going on today. And then towards the end, we can jump back into that if you want to pitch to Ty and see if you can get some funding for that business. And then we'll do that. So again, my name is Dyme Smith. If anybody jumps in as we go along, then, we welcome them. But I do want to go ahead and get started. I don't want to be too delayed. Sorry.
I'm actually gonna lock it because I don't want late people coming in. I'm
Okay.
actually gonna lock it so we can focus on the business on what we have here, please.
Oh, okay. That's
I got
perfect.
you.
No problem.
All right.
So yeah, excuse my computer if it makes any noises because it loves to do that while I'm on Zoom calls. So what is an angel investor? So the Google definition of it all is a high net worth individual who provides financial backing for small startups and entrepreneurs, typically in exchange for an ownership equity in the company. So if you've ever seen like the show Shark Tank, that's exactly what they do. So a small business, like any one of us, will go to someone who has a large amount of capital or funding and basically pitch them on whatever it is that your business is. So normally 9 times out of 10, you have either already been in business for a specific amount of time before you're looking for capital. Other times there are some angel investors who will, fund you in the startup phase, depending on the type of business that you have. It's not frequent that happens, but depending on like the climate of today, say for example, we're in this digital age right now and we're scaling into more of a tech world and NFTs and cryptocurrency and all that type of stuff. If you have something that's more in that base, you'll probably get funding straight out the gate. Why would you need an angel investor? So a lot of people don't really have the capital, they just have ideas, or they've been running a business for a couple months, a year, a couple years, and they're at their stagnant stage where they've done all they can do and they've sold their inventory and now it's time to improve the equipment, or it's time to invest in this other machine or this other thing, or buy this substantial amount of inventory so that they can fulfill some client orders, things like that. But they just don't have it, right? So they would reach out to someone like Ty, and they would pitch them on the idea. Am I in the right lane of things so far? Okay, awesome. So what happens is normally what you'll do when you're looking for capital, you're looking for funding for a business, a lot of people go to the bank. They try to figure out how they can get some money and wind up either putting it on their personal credit, which sometimes is already bad, or they try to get it through their business, but their business has not been doing strong enough sales maybe in the last couple of months, but it was stronger in the beginning, things like that. There's a lot of different factors that may stop a bank from investing in your business. It's not really called investing when a bank does it, but you get what I mean. So the whole point of getting an angel investor is because it's a private lender. So private lenders are a lot more, I definitely would not say lax, they're just a lot more lenient on some of those terms as opposed to a bank. I would say one of the main points of getting an angel investor is to use other people's money. If you follow any type of coach, any type of business coach, any type of business consultant, they all will tell you the same thing. Instead of using your own money to fund your business, you should be finding ways to leverage your business and leverage the assets that you have in order to use other people's monies, or OTP as they call it. Right. And then so one of the main products that an angel investor would have is called a microloan fund. So a microloan is simply a small loan that startups, a small loan from an angel investor to a startup or a newly established small business. So the key objective is to assist business owners who can't get funding from a bank or don't qualify for funding from a bank. Any points?
Yeah.
Do you want to add in, Ty?
Yeah, definitely on target so we can understand what it is. It goes down to principles. I hope Ryan, Wanda, Allison, and Kyle, all you guys, there's certain principles about money that I learned that I enjoy. Number one, I love the idea that your money should have arms and legs. Your money should have arms and legs. It speaks about how to get your money to go work for you. And those who benefited in this fiscal jump have learned how to put their money in the right places so that's bringing back money for you. And the other principle that I enjoy is you can't take this money with you.
Right.
I saw a meme that says, I'd rather go broke investing than go broke impressing. And that's me. That's me all day long. I'll have zero because I'm still putting money back into a business or a new idea or a new concept. So it's not like I don't have money. It's just that as soon as I get it, I don't see no point in it piling up in the bank. I finally made it to a point where it's coming in faster than I'm spending it. I remember the days of not having at all. And at that point, I'm feeling more encouraged. Like, listen, what am I about to do next? And there's two things. And I'm very transparent, guys. So I hope none of these things are offensive. But the rule says I'd rather have 1% of 1,000 people than 100% of my own. So the idea of angel investing is like, I think I have a good business mind. I think I have a good marketing mind. I want to be a consultant to business owners about how to grow their business. Why not, in addition to getting them to pay me for the services, why not also have an arm of my business where I'm offering you investment in intellectual property? So now you have the choice to just take my investment and go, or take my investment in my coaching and let's build your business together. You're still yours, but in protection of my money, I'm a part of the process. And angel investing came to me a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, with my first client. And it's turned out to be a sweet deal. They've had 4 or 5 rounds of funding from me. And in exchange, the deal is pretty cool. I get my money back. I get interest on my money, and I get money for a royalty for every product that they sell. And in exchange, they get to tap into money when they need it automatically, and they get my daily coaching. If they were here today, I think they're going to be on later on. They'll share to you that I turned their whole business around. That in the beginning, they were doing everything hand to mouth. But with conversation with us and the right capital, we were able to take their production and maximize it, bring down their per product cost, and make the whole process easier, leaving them to be able to focus on marketing and sales versus production. So a lot of ways that we can work together to see to it that we understand your business model, understand your product, and how to boost sales. I'm trying to convince the world, stop being afraid to talk about money.
Right.
Stop being afraid to talk about money. We are not in business only for the moral reasons. I've already proven. I'm at the point now where I'm like, listen, if you don't know my story, you can't judge me. But I already gave the world myself. I already gave my community. I already did all that stuff. And I have that arm of my businesses. And then I have the one that's strictly a business. Business equals money. Business don't equal heartache and headache and hustle and bustle every day. That's not the purpose. That's not the point. And the purpose is that you hustle and bustle in the beginning so that one day it simply makes money. So this whole angel investment idea and concept that we're growing, we already have four people. It's about, are you ready for an investment? Is this conversation ongoing with the hopes to be ready? Are you the right fit? Because Don, one of the cool points is each investor has their motto that they're looking for. Where are you comfortable with spending your money? And I'm personally very comfortable in product sales. That's the businesses that I enjoy the most. That don't mean that one of you guys can't change my mind today, but product sales is very as an easier field for me to comprehend, see my money return, and all of those things. So that's where I'm at, Dom. I'm so excited, man.
So
That's awesome.
yeah. So it's really important to me that we continue to create these platforms where you're being educated on things. There's a lot of people out there doing webinars and, speaking on certain things, but a lot of it is motivational and not educational. So one of the things I wanted to make sure that we spoke about today is, how do you even structure your business to receive funding? I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they were like, "Yeah, how do I get in the thing for tomorrow for the funding?" And I'm like, "Okay," and I know this person personally, so I'm like, "Well, what business do you have?" And they're like, "Oh, I do all types of things." I'm like, "Okay, well, let's get on the call real quick." So we get on the phone. It's like, "Yeah, tell me about the funding thing." I'm like, "Okay, what is your business?" "Oh, yeah, again, like I said, I do a whole lot of things." I'm like, "You have not told me what your business is yet." I asked him what his product is like 4 times, right? So he's like, "Okay, well, I have access to a truck, so I deliver things." I was like, "Okay, well, the investor that's coming on the call is more comfortable with products. So what is your product?" He's like, "Well, I deliver things." I'm like, "That's a service. What is your product?" He's like, "Okay, well, I have this other thing." He named 2 other service-based businesses. So one, you need to know what your business is and be able to classify it correctly. And then after we finally got through that, and he started telling me about how he randomly sells random things on Facebook, I was like, "That's not it. It's not going to work. But you should come on the webinar and learn." So for me, first step would be to know what your business is. Is your business a service-based business, or is your business a product-based business? The difference is very simple, but after speaking to a couple of people over the last 2 days about this webinar, and some people just don't know, and that's fine. That's why we're here, so we can educate each other, right? So a service-based business is something where you offer something to someone, they buy your services, they buy a intangible product from you. So consultations, cleaning services, project management, anything that is not a tangible product. You cannot touch it, you can't feel it, you can't see it. You can see the results of it maybe, but you can't actually touch it. A product-based business is a business where in that transaction, I receive something, you receive money, right? So it's an exchange. So one, you need to know what kind of business you have, right? Once you know what kind of business you have, you need to know everything about your business. So whether it's a startup or it's a business that's been around for a couple of years, you need to be able to identify what it is that you do, what it is that you sell, your price point on everything. You need to know how much your product costs to make. You need to know how much you sell your product for. You need to know what your marketing plan is. And if you don't have a marketing plan, you can always go to a service-based business like For March Coaching, and we'll help you.
Allison's moving that direction too. She can help you write your business plan or write your marketing plan.
There we go.
Absolutely.
You need to have your whole, what we call it your business profile, right? So when you're building business credit, or you're looking for funding for your business, you have to have a strong business profile. So I've had a bunch of people ask me, well, does it have to be, you know, an LLC? Does it have to be a registered business? Technically, depending on the angel investor, it may not have to be there yet. If you have strong sales and you're moving your business from a side hustle to an actual business, you may meet a Thai who's like, okay, well, you know, let's get there. You know, I'll help you get there. But you have the structure of a business, you're just not registered yet, right? Then all that is paperwork.
Yeah,
And
I just now realized that my first investment, I never even asked them. All I know is that they had a product. I know that when they came to me, I said, how's the business going? They said, we do 120 products a week. I said, a week, like as in consistently? They was like, yeah, like a week. I said, but I know you guys, you don't know anything about marketing. No, we don't know anything about marketing. We have our stuff placed on these sites and they do 120 pieces a week automatically. Okay, how long has that trend lasted? It's been about 7 months now. And what's the challenges? Why are you coming to me? Because we can't handle the overload. Sometimes we So you're making money, but you're not properly spending the re-up. You're not properly balancing and budgeting. Okay, and you're buying piece by piece versus bulk because you never have a large amount of money. Oh, the husband not working right now, so y'all are using this money to cover everything. It's no longer a side hustle. Yes, wow, y'all are prime. Y'all are prime. So if I come in and I can show you how to reduce your costs by buying bulk, we're gonna change the game and just buy bulk, everything we need, and fill up a whole factory and have these products already waiting as the orders come in. No more taking the order and filling it like that, but taking the order and literally just packing it up and shipping it out. Is that gonna be helpful to you? Yes, I never check documentation. I never check paperwork. I made the deal. I get paid every Tuesday and they haven't stopped yet. They ran into problems maybe twice where they asked for forgiveness Tuesday, but they've increased. They went down a little bit, they increased again, and I never even asked about paperwork or documentation. It has to make sense.
Yeah.
Sense being CENTS, I believe, right? It has to make sense. And that's the thing. When you pitch, your confidence level is gonna raise up when what you're saying makes sense. Mm-hmm. You're gonna sound like, well, maybe Ty, maybe if you can help one day. I'm not quite there yet, but I can get there. If you know it don't make sense right now. You already know if you have the answers to have you sold service or product yet. You already know the answer. You already know how do you plan on paying the money back, right? Again, right? It's about that bold. This is not friendship. This is not friendship. This is business. So you already know the question is going to be, how am I getting my money back? How fast am I getting it? And can you afford payments? So that it's kind of straightforward. And it's the same question that you're going to ask one day when you're in the position to be the lender, because one day you will be. And you're going to ask the same questions. And if the answers are strong, if the answers make sense, and we can really propel your business with this funding, that's the next part. Will this money really help? I'll tell you right now, don't take any borrowed loan money to pay debt. No. The only reason you would borrow money is if you know it's going to quickly, I gotta be quickly, you know it's going to guarantee to help you advance your project forward. So inventory is definitely something that's easy to make purchases for because at least the product is sitting there. Brochures or branding is definitely that soft guarantee that at least if we believe in you, right, which is important, your ability, your education, your ability to deliver, your drive, which is important. If we believe in you, then we'll believe that, okay, this is a service that's needed and this person is capable of providing that service. She's not going to fall asleep on the business. She's going to stay involved in her business and help raise her baby. And if you feel like the person is that person, then yes, that person is worth the investment because of those reasons. So whether or not you're service-based or product-based, yes, it's important. But again, if you're service-based, you might have to just spend more time proving that you're the right person and that you're hungry and passionate about this baby we're about to birth together. So definitely works out both ways, Don.
Yeah. Absolutely. So so yeah, that you pretty much knocked it right on the head. So what I had here was just knowing the having your business profile and knowing what it is that you're doing and what you're selling, knowing your sales. So having a sales platform, because a lot of times what people don't know about like Shark Tank, for example, you have to show them those sales in some sort of funnel afterwards. So even if they tell you, yeah, okay, you know what, I'll give you $100,000 for 20% of your business or whatever the case may be, after the fact, they still have to know, they have to see it somewhere. And a lot of times, some businesses, some people with, hustles that are working out, whatever the case may be, they don't have any type of tracking system. So if you position yourself now to make sure that you have your tracking straight, you'll be able to show somebody, listen, this is why I'm confident that you can invest in me, because I have all of this listed out for you already. So there's that. And then just, again, knowing your sales. So a strong product, knowledge of your product, knowledge of your, just like Ryan came on here and he knows exactly how many people, one other person in his area that's doing what he's doing. You have to know these things. You have to have market research already done. And again, like, this isn't one size fits all. Not everybody's going to ask the same questions. Not everybody is going to need the same information from you, but having it, I promise you, just makes you that much more confident in your ask. I know that with Forward March, we have a specific criteria, but like he said, you can sway him in other ways if you have a strong enough pitch. But usually people want 6 months to a year in business, just so that they can see that you've been, doing this for a while. And then just again, having your description and your projections together. So having some sort of business plan or visual projection on where you see this business going, knowing the need that you have, the capital need that you have. So how much money do you need? What are you going to be using it for? What's the investment breakdown? You're asking for, $2,000, because microloans are usually between $500 and $5,000, with an average, I think Ty said, of $2,500, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so your ask is, say, $2,000. What are you using that $2,000 on? So that boils back to where he said, like, do you actually need it? And if you do need it, what do you need it for? And how is it going to help propel the business? And then last but not least, the same thing, like he said, confidence, right? So once you have everything together, you're all structured, you're like, I'm good to go. And then you get in the room and the investor is looking at you and you're looking at him, her, and you're like, okay, go. You have to have the confidence from there to go straight into, all right, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, this is what I need, this is what it's for, boom, bust it out. When you don't have the confidence in it, you don't promote confidence into that investor that they should be investing in you.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, my point that I was going to go into after that was with the wrap company, but I'm not sure if they're going to join us in this early session. So do you have any other notes that you kind of wanted to go over?
No, I'm ready. I'm ready to hear. I'm ready to make decisions. I'm ready to talk it over. I think we have a nice pool of 3 amazing people who have a passion for what they do, and I'm ready to hear. So, Dyme, when they go, I want them to make sure they nail the format of the question. Be clear on, keep it simple, but be clear on what you're asking for. Pick a number and nail it, what you're going to spend it on. And be clear on your cost of service or cost of product and how many you would like to, if you aren't already, how many you think you're going to sell a week, things like that. I'm going to review numbers with you. As you're saying it, I'm going to do the multiplication really fast. And I'm going to ask you questions about repayments. I'm going to ask you questions about sales and marketing. I'm going to ask you for your customer profile, if you know what that means, and how do you reach your audience and build audience. I'm going to ask you about your current audience that you already have in your network. We say network equals net worth. We're going to talk about that. And if you don't know, the best thing to say is, I don't know, I don't have yet, or I'm not sure, I'm unclear. And we're going to answer certain questions together. I think each person hearing the other person gets an opportunity to strengthen. I consider this very small. I'm a small guy in this pool of lenders. But this is a great place to practice and to start. And whatever we are able to do with you or for you will be like anything else in life, a learning experience to move you and propel you to a later. Understand my goal. Let me share. I cannot become a large lender where I have control of other people's money until I first experiment with my own. I've had people come to me with $10,000, $20,000, $25,000 saying, hey, you seem to have the Midas touch. Can you help me invest this? Mm-hmm. I've said no many times. 4 people at $25,000 is $100,000. $100,000 with an average loan amount of $2,500 can go to a lot of business owners, which gives us a platform not only for a return, but for a huge increase in each of those business owners. I'm not in the position where I want to pull that resource together until I experiment with my own. I'm willing to try, learn, lose, win with my own before I allow us to operate, a large fund of which we distribute from other people's money and then redistribute back to them. So that's where we're at. So it's time to pitch. It's time to share with us your story and how you're doing. Be as strong and confident as you can. Be very clear and concise. You could be a little bit less winded than me and Dyme put together, because the short ones are the ones that leave room for me to ask the specific question that I need to help you pull together what type of income you're looking forward to and what possible return you can offer an investor. All right. So Dyme, I'm not sure what order you want to go in, but let's go ahead. Let's see how it goes.
All right. We'll go in the order that's on my screen. So Allison, you're first up.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I really enjoyed this information. I've been taking notes. So if you see me looking at it, that's what I'm referring back to. Okay. So our company is By Words. We've been in business for about a year. We mainly do business content. It seems as though we are a service-based business, but I consider what we do an actual tangible product. And I'll explain why later. So we are now providing, for the most part, newsletters, blog content, about us pages. We build brand new websites from scratch. We put all of the content on there. And why is this important to small businesses? Because people go to the web for information. And when they get that information, they make their buying decisions. So for example, if you have an event space, most people don't go looking for Event Space Brooklyn or Event Space Texas. They look for how much does it cost to host a baby shower? And when they Google how much does it cost to host a baby shower, we have created a blog post for your page with the keywords in how much does it cost to host a baby shower? So Google sends them to your page where they read about all of the costs of hosting a baby shower. And at the end of that article, they've established that you are an authority on this topic, and then they click and they want to talk to you and book your space. So that's what we do for small businesses. Here's the challenge that we had in the beginning. In the beginning, it was me doing all of the content. I can write 3 to 5 articles a day at roughly $50 each, which caps my earnings at about $200 a day, max. So what I discovered was that we can do a white labeled service in which we have outsourced the work. And what our business does is sell the content to other people, to the business owners. And so with that, it's completely scalable. So anyone who's investing, there's no limitation on how much can be earned in a day because we have thousands of writers at our disposal. And I can make far more than $200 a day, 10,000 writers. Our cost to create an article is about $25 to $50. We charge for blog posts between $75 and $125 each. We create up to 10 to 15 a week. Our main pain point here is actually our marketing and advertising. Right now, it's just our clients are word of mouth clients, and we want to expand to other businesses. Our business is pandemic proof. We actually did better in the pandemic because people are stuck at home, people are researching things, people are dreaming. So they're thinking, I can't travel right now, but when I can travel, where am I going to go? And they've already planned all of this travel in their head, and they're researching and they're going online and Googling things. And that's where we come in with newsletters and content. So I'm sorry. We are seeking $2,500 for marketing support. That would go to a direct mail campaign and some advertising in the form of small billboards. And we're also seeking branding in the form of a logo and a website revamp.
Okay, very good. Excellent. So first thing, I definitely see this business for you. Knowing your writing passion and skills. It's divine in the sense that Kyle is on the line. Kyle is one of my project managers, and we're meeting with business owners like Wanda. Wanda is a potential client of ours. I wouldn't say potential. She's kind of already locked and loaded. But when we start working for Wanda next week, I believe on January 10th, we have to create new branding material for Wanda, new website for Wanda, rewrite her pillars. Wanda owns a not-for-profit. Wanda needs to make sure that when funders go look at her material, that is written as strong as her passion. We know Wanda. We know Wanda kills her work. We know Wanda's on the ground saving kids' lives in Kansas, but the funders need to see that spelled out in wording. So between the words and the graphics, we want to make sure that Wanda looks as amazing on paper as we know she is on the ground. We would need you to help get that passionate wording going. Wanda has a list of stakeholders, of political people. We need to take what Wanda did in 1 month, each and every month, and write a newsletter so she can stay in front of her potential donors later on. So a newsletter where Wanda's bragging about how many lives she saves, academically successes, and things like that has to be done in words. And Wanda's super busy. She works every day raising these kids. She doesn't have the time to then sit down, write, send to an editor, all this stuff, and design the graphics for this stuff. So your service is huge in the various industries. I'm tired of seeing people with horrible websites.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing people with bad branding. I'm tired of people with no packages and no choices and gold, silver, and this. And wording and content creation around your brochure and your website and your business and about us, all of that is so important to properly articulate to your client. So as we're working with so many clients right now, Kyle being the project manager, each of them will then need your service for us to properly do an audit on how they're currently communicating to their customer, and thus revamping the wording and making sure they're super strong. So it's definitely a service slash product, like you said, that I believe in, that I know has a huge need, and it's definitely something, Dyme, that we would definitely consider. All right, so let's keep that going. Who's next, Dom? Good job, Allison. Who's next?
I have a question real quick, if that's okay. You said that it costs between $25 to $50 for an article. Why does it cost you anything to write the article?
Right. So if I do it myself, obviously it's free. It's just my information. But I outsource now that it's growing.
Okay.
I'm looking at how many I can write in a day. So now that I outsource, we pay for the content and then we resell it.
Gotcha.
I maybe look over it and do some edits and make sure it's clean and good. But for the most part, we're just buying the content and reselling it.
And a lot of the times you have to do a lot of editing when you do it that way. Let me share a story. I hired a lady, just like Allison, to write my material. I'm a consultant also. I know what it's like to be overwhelmed with the amount of work. This lady sent me the work, and I said to her, this is 100 times less quality than the work that you sent me when I first met you. I said to her, I'm straight shooter when it comes to money. If you're gonna charge me the premium price because I interviewed you at a premium education, a premium past experiences, a premium this. I didn't talk you down. I didn't say anything. I paid you what you asked me. And then you outsource it international at that. And you don't properly edit it out and send it directly to me and gonna tell me, here's your invoice. That's not gonna work.
Right.
So we quickly, and again, that's a clear conversation. She was more offended than encouraged. I left room for her to apologize, edit, and keep working. She was, I could just give you money back. You're not ready for this industry if you're gonna outsource, not properly edit, and then make it so obvious for the client, which was me at the time, that it's not you writing. If you're gonna ghostwrite, if you're gonna outsource, you have to come back and edit it properly or properly screen who you're outsourcing to, that their English and their voice is similar to yours. So I'm just sharing with you my story so you can see how I use my past stories to help business consulting, because every story that you guys have, each and every one of you, I have a personal connection to that story. So as a person who hates to physically write, I hire ghostwriters, but I get on a video like this and I speak my story. I love to talk. And then I have her write what she thinks it translates to. And I love that service. I think we can definitely sell it to a lot of people. So I think you're in a good position. All right, let's do it. Dom.
Hi. Oh, sorry. One thing, can I share my screen real quickly?
Yeah, please.
Okay. This is an example of, okay, I can't. This is the host can do it. But
I got you. It's coming. Don't worry.
Okay.
Done.
All right. Let's take a look. Okay. Yes.
Ryan, you'll be next up.
Hey, Ryan.
Do you see it?
Nothing yet.
I can't see.
It's coming.
Okay.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
I had it up on the screen, but now it disappeared. I had a copy of the newsletter that I create. Now I can't find it. Here it is. Can you see that?
Yes.
So this is a newsletter that I do for a travel agent. This is a monthly destination that she pitches to her clients. This is a private island in the British Virgin Islands that you can rent out for your entire party for 40 people. She sends out one of these each month as a destination of the month. And we put information, all the photos and the content there. And then at the bottom here, we do a call to action. So this paragraph is like, if you're looking to book a secluded island, just click here. You can click the contact us or get started. And that takes you straight to her page. And we have the analytics on this. So we know who opened it. We know what they lingered on. We know what picture they looked at for the longest amount of time. We know who unsubscribed as a result. And we use that to sell her product and her services to her clients.
Yep.
So that's just one that we do each month.
Yep. Absolutely. Totally get it.
That's nice. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for that, Allison. If you can pass the host thing back to Ty, just in case anybody else needs to share. And
Okay.
Ryan, when you're ready, I want to see some jewelry.
All right.
One quick moment to grab some stuff here. Grab an inventory to show you some stuff. Okay. So my name is Ryan Ross. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. I decided with the pandemic that I wanted to change my job and do something different. I've been bartending for 11 years, so working till 3 to 4 a.m. is sometimes hard with a couple, especially if she has to work in the morning and then I got to get up right away. So I was a 60 scoop victim, a First Nations person. I used that money this last year to move forward in what my dream was going to be. I decided that after searching for engagement gemstones, sapphires for my fiance, that I would get into gem cutting. And the reason I decided with sapphires because they're every color of the rainbow. They're a 9 out of 10 on hardness, so they'll still last forever like diamonds. But in Saskatoon, where I live, there is absolutely nobody who does custom cut gems. I can cut anything. This is called the Eye of Zool. It's like I don't know if you can really see it too well in here, but it's an eye gem. One of the first ones that I did. I also do custom stuff like little, it's hard to tell because of the flash there, but these are sunflowers. Give off like a little pattern of sunflowers to them and stuff like that as well. This is a Triforest from The Legend of Zelda as well. Again, it's hard to see. But anyways, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to start a business where I live and do custom cut gemstones for people. Right now, there is only one person in Saskatchewan who does what I do. His name is Mike Botha, and he is the fourth most famous diamond cutter in the world. And he has a business in Prince Albert, about an hour and a half away from my city, and he only does diamonds. No one in Saskatchewan does colored stones. So I thought maybe I would get into that kind of a business. So January, and for the last year, I've been practicing. And I'd say in October is when I decided that I was going to start offering a service. So also nobody in Saskatoon polishes gemstones. All the businesses in Saskatoon, and I know because I went to every single one and contacted every single one, as well as all the jewelers in Saskatoon, silversmith and goldsmith ones, to find out if they had that kind of service, and they don't. So that's another thing that I want to offer for this city is polishing as well. I can't cut diamonds, but I can polish them. So what my issue that I've been finding now is like I can cut stones and that, make them really nice and sell them and that, but I need advertising. I need marketing. No one really knows that I'm here except for word of mouth. I think I've gotten my Instagram page following up to like maybe an extra 1,000 in the last 2 months since I started. But in a city of almost 500,000 people, I want advertising. I did get a hold of some of the local TV stations and radios. My brother owns a business and he has done advertising. It costs him around $4,000 for 3 months. That's the radio and stuff. So I'm not really sure where I was going with this. I'm looking for help is what I'm looking for. Like I have everything to go. The only other thing that I would want or need is inventory for different products. I have sapphires coming in a couple weeks. So that's going to be, that's my big one. Because the high percent or the value that they're worth once they're cut. They're worth anywhere between 600 to 1,200 per carat once they're cut. But I need customers. I need people to do that. That's where I'm suffering right now. I need to rebrand. Current name is Three Sister Sapphires, but it's a little bit too long. And I agree, it is too long. So yeah, inventory and marketing, and a brand. And I'm willing to give up, you know, a good chunk percentage to help me start my business. Absolutely. Well, as much help as I can take. I've been to a few of these pitch investments. This is the first time I've really talked. I've just been watching mostly everybody. And I like most of the stuff. The lady who was up before me with her advertising and stuff, I really liked her stuff. If I had money, I would pay to do something like that.
Right.
Like, well, you know how in where I live, we have like a Sears catalog and they send out like a wish list. That was my idea, actually, to create like a little thin pamphlet or a little book to send out to everybody in the city that would be able to read it. Something that could get people's attention. But, yeah. Sorry, I don't really know where I'm going with this right now.
Question for you. Do you actually make the jewelry after you do the cutting?
I don't make the jewelry. I have a machine that does it. But that's the other thing that I was going to do. I have also looked into production of rings and earrings and stuff made. There's a company in BC that is willing to do it for me. And I just need to I just need money to do it, basically. So like, you know, I have 3 daughters. That's why I went for 3 sister sapphires. I would love to create 3 different rings. One called the Rory, my youngest daughter, Ariely, my middle, and Zoe, my oldest. And each 3 rings would have different settings and different stones. Like my Rory ring would be all blue sapphires and stuff. My Ariely would be pinks and stuff. My Zoe would be like yellows, greens, or, you know, something like that. Like something that when I could sell and just have like an inventory of.
Very good. Okay. And teach me a little bit about, let's say, top 4 gems that you can cut that people kind of want and or need. So I heard sapphire quite a bit. Name 3 other gems that are really, really popular.
Another one would be citrine or amethyst or quartz crystals. So amethyst, citrine, rose quartz, all of those are quartz crystals, and those are actually really popular. Those are what I will create like some of the fancy gems out of as well. Hard.
And are you familiar with the benefits and charging of the gems and things of that nature? Are you familiar with those definition connections?
I am familiar with those things and that. See, that's another thing too, that lots of people who are into that do not like gemstones being cut because it takes away from the spirituality of lots of the gemstones once they're cut. That's what I've been told by lots of.
But cutting it allows for custom shaping to better fit the jewelry making, correct?
Correct, yes. I can cut to any size that they would need, basically.
Okay.
Shape.
So my brother he racks gemstones.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of my jewelry that gets more attention than my gold and my silver is his custom made pieces.
Exactly. That's what I want to get into. Like heirloom style, like, you know, oh, I've got an extra $2,000, you know, I need something cool that nobody else has. Well, let's create like a necklace that has my family symbol on it or something like that, but nobody else. Well, that's something to do for them. Because I'm friends with lots of, you know, silversmiths and goldsmiths in Saskatoon that I'm starting to collaborate with already. But, you know, the collaboration takes time. You got to get to know them and stuff. It'd be nice just to have that steady customer base that comes in, or even, you know, I just don't have that right now. It's all pure word of mouth. Anybody who finds out that I do what I do is super interested. But again, need more.
What is the charge for service? Give me an idea of what you might charge and which service are you sharing with me?
So I did a lot of research on services and charging in that in the States. In the States, lots of people will charge by the hour. Average starting rate is $35 an hour or up sometimes. I'm in Canada, so I'm charging Canadian dollars, and I literally am charging between $20 to $25 an hour to do what I do, because that still makes me a good amount of money, and it gets the product to the customer for less than they would purchase it at retail, and I still make a good amount of money. So,
okay, and you have a provider of where you would get the gems from?
I do have, yep, I have a bunch of sources as well. I have a couple American companies that are gemstone dealers, and that's all they do. I also have a couple friends in Afghanistan talking with, and I've purchased material from a couple times in the last year as well. So he can source me almost most products in there, but he can't get around too much because he is not with the Taliban, so he is unable to go to certain places. So
got it. And you have your proposition. I'm sorry. Your selling point that you believe is that everybody doesn't have this machine. That this machine is pretty unique, and that out of the city and region that you're in, only one, maybe two other people had the machine.
in the province, yeah, the city or province that I live in, I'm one of two people that currently have any machine for gem cutting. And I've been more. There's only one other person in a different city, and he is actually a goldsmith, and he doesn't actually cut gems. He only polishes with a machine. And from what I've heard from some of the places in Saskatoon, is he's going to quit soon. So he's looking for somebody to replace him. So that's a perfect way to move in for service for that stuff. So
okay. Well, for all business owners listening, one of the things that I find true is that there's these business owners where marketing, branding, advertising is just not your thing. Your life experiences are in a whole bunch of different areas, and that one thing that you know you need is not your thing. So in a way, I'm looking for funding, but I'm looking to also outsource that thing. So my partnership is about, hey, even if I don't get the funds right away, can you help me in sales and marketing, which will automatically bring in funds. So those who are experts in the areas of digital marketing, social media management, who can then increase visibility and increase sales, then that's also a type of partnership that's needed in this case for sure.
but I mean, like, I would be willing to give up a chunk of my business, because you basically would be helping me start, you know, like I have sales. I probably $400 or $500 worth of stuff in the last couple of months, but you know, that's a side hustle basically. And I would like this to be the job.
Yeah. And do you have clear quality photos of the finished and start product before and after?
I do, yeah. If you have Instagram or Facebook, you can go to 3 Sisters Sapphires. You can look at all the stuff that I've recently just done and stuff like that. It's actually a lot better to look at on there, since the lighting in this is not that great.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Great, Dyme. Let's do it. Really strong. My brother, I'm texting him at the same time. He definitely, you know, because he raps uncut currently, because he never really been introduced to cut. He sells his pieces for $150 to $250 because they're all handmade custom stuff. His stuff lasts a long time, and he gives a little info card with it of how to keep it charged and what spiritual connections each stone that he chose has.
You were talking about your friend with the gemstones, right?
Yeah, my brother.
Oh, your brother? Okay.
My real brother. So I'm texting him now about about the need for cutting and a cutter, and he says, yeah, definitely along, like, you know, to cut a sapphire heart would make his piece look crazy, you know, or in a sapphire in a diamond shape or whatever, versus just the little ball that he has to wrap it based off whatever it was, to be able to shape it to a letter, a T, or this, anything that the person could dream of would be really beneficial. And it's a lot of people just like him that rap.
And see, people who are using or material for like artists and stuff, that's another thing that I'm doing as well, because I recently got a hold of all the silversmiths and goldsmiths in the city that I live in. So if they want something, I sell it to them. Like anything that's listed on my site, they get a percentage, around 35% to 40% off of that product, because I can make that to them and get it to them. They can sell it for profit, because that's what I want them to get. I want them to profit so that I can make a profit too. So the more that I sell to them, the better, as opposed to the more expensive stuff that I sell. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
wholesale to industry.
Yeah,
I also retail non-industry people.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff, Dom. Good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thanks. Talk, by the way.
We'll definitely.
Wait. Don't forget to congratulate Ryan for talking on this webinar. He said,
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Give me a clap.
I never spoke before.
Right. Don't worry about it. All right, let's do it.
All right. Let's hear it.
Wanda, you still there?
Oh, I'm here. I didn't even hear anyone call my name. Okay, well, I think Coach Ty, you pretty summed it up for what I'm trying to do. Just real briefly, like I said, we're a drill team, and I guess I would be more of a service. One, because I am coaching, mentoring, and providing opportunities for the youth in Kansas City. And we go out and we perform for different types of events, and we do competitions. So we travel and things like that. In other words, we make a lot of noise. We got the flamboyant uniforms and things like that. So now I'm at the point to where I need to be, I need to expand. So I'm trying to rebrand. I'm trying to, like I said, we make a lot of noise, but I want to make a lot of noise to the right people. Are we doing this the right way? Are we going in the right direction? Because what I don't want to do is fall back. Like I said, I've been doing this for 35 years. And, the world is out there, and we've been a lot of places and things like that. And I just want to keep that going.
Very good. Well, I know Wanda's entire story because we are working with her outside of this meeting. Wanda, just for the purposes of this meeting, what would be, if you were to have an opportunity to request funding from an angel investor, what would that dollar amount be, and what would it be used towards?
The dollar amount, it may sound crazy, but I really don't know the dollar amount. I just know we need dollar amounts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, right. I know what I'm doing. I know what it takes to do what I'm doing. But as far as, like if you was to ask me right now, how much would you charge your drill team to come and perform for our company's holiday party? I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know it. For many years, I've always said, well, we're a nonprofit group, and we don't have a set fee, but we gladly take donations.
Right.
That would be my pitch.
All that's gonna change. Let me take a second to share my screen. Allison, this is important for you to know, because people like you is gonna help people like Miss Wanda. So let me show both of you guys that same exact question that she just mentioned. Let me show you my response to that question. Allison, if you don't mind, can you just repeat what she said? Her reply is to people that ask for performances.
Yes, so she's saying that it's a donation-based system. You donate what you think it's worth or what you feel like donating. Does that cover the cost of your time, your materials, your transportation?
Right.
Sometimes it do and sometimes it don't, but sometimes I'm just afraid to ask for what you're worth, because then I'm thinking, oh, they're not going to accept it, or they're not going to, that's what's been my fear for all these years. So that's why I just say, oh, we're open,
Yep. Allison, make me the host, please. So again, you guys give me an opportunity to thank God for the journey that He's taking me down. Because for each of you, the three of you, I have a story about my life that reflects. This is encouraging to me on my not feeling well day, because I feel like I'm primed to help business owners get from where they are to where they want to be, because I've been there. Ryan, the story about the three daughters, having dreams of being able to transfer incomes from other 3, 4, 5 places to this one place, creating a product that has the three daughters' names on it that can be sold over and over again to lead down to them. That touches me. I have kids. I'm always thinking about my kids. Allison, ghostwriting and writing and all that stuff. Wanda, I am you every day, all day. And if it's really, Allison, make me the host, please.
Just need a little help doing that.
Click on participants.
Okay.
And then on the right-hand side someplace, you'll see your name, my name.
Okay.
And you're gonna click on the right where it says more, something like that. I think, guys, help me out. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Something like more, and it says make host or something like that.
Okay.
I think there's a way. Never mind. I got it. Reclaim host. I can see.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I got it.
Sorry about that.
So as we wrap this up, let me share my screen and give Wanda an idea of what's gonna happen when we start working together. So Wanda, the thing about business is I don't have to recreate the wheel. Y'all can see my screen?
I see it.
I'm gonna give my document to Allison and say, Allison, let's make one for Miss Wanda. And then we're gonna give it to the graphic designers to design. So anytime somebody asks me for a performance, this is what they get. So I used to do what you do. Oh, we're just so happy to perform. You know, send us what you can. And I'll be struggling to pay for the bus, feed the kid.
Right.
I want you to look at our numbers today, okay? In order to book our group, it goes as high as $5,000, okay? And that's before we talk about transportation. So you fill out the form, appropriate transportation for students and equipment, a meal and or refreshments depending on the length of time, an honorarium payment based on the scope of the performance and a signed agreement. These numbers here is the honorarium only. This doesn't cover transportation and food.
Okay.
So it's a company, which we get a lot of phone calls from. The company to get the full group is as high as $5,000. And that's for an in and out performance. That's for 15 minutes. I include amazing photos of the group. I include past performances that we've done. I actually have to update this. I include videos. And then I include uniform choices. I thought it was on this document. Maybe it's a different document. I include uniform choices so they don't have no questions about what they're getting.
Oh, okay.
Again, when the time comes for us to design your website, this is the type of thing we're going to do for you. We might not use these large numbers. We probably start someplace, but at least you don't have to guess. You can automatically say, well, review my one-sheeter and let's talk about the range. And then you say, I'm fair, so let me know which budget you feel comfortable with within that range. And at least it's easier for you to talk about money and easier for you to say, you know, I'm a not-for-profit, I need help. That's the obvious, but you're providing a service. Entertainment is a service. Everybody wants to pretend that they're doing a favor for me and my kids. Oh, this would be good exposure for Brooklyn Unite. Well, guess what? You must not know us.
Right.
You're telling me that you must not have a television, you must not have newspapers if you think that your performance is good exposure for us. Exactly. Cut the BS and cut the check.
Right. I've heard that a lot. This would be great exposure.
Right. So for me, I used to be I love the great exposure part, but now my kids, my parents, they enjoy staying home if it's not worth it. Give us a day off, Ty. Oh my God. So at BU, we treat it a little bit differently. We pay our kids. Our kids actually get paid for the performances in addition to the organization benefiting. So I appreciate your story, and we're definitely going to work towards a place where you're very comfortable talking about the money you need to run your program. Okay. So Allison, Ryan, and Wanda, you can expect an amazing follow-up from Dyme or Kyle. Sorry, Ryan, how'd you hear about today's event?
I have a program, an app called Eventbrite, and it suggested that I was looking for stuff, and yours popped up.
That's proof to us that Eventbrite is an amazing search engine.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay, so I'm happy you jumped on, because I'm gonna talk to my brother some more about the market, about the need, about the craft, and we're gonna kind of go from there. I definitely think you're gonna get some help. Kyle, who's probably multitasking right now, we own a digital marketing agency. Our digital marketing agency can help us home in on your zip code directly. We can create video and still ads and market it directly to the zip code and audience around your neighborhood, let's say. And our team of professionals know how to redesign and twist the algorithms in order to make sure that it's the proper leads and that it then translates to sales. So besides the branding, the storytelling, and then the sales point of offering your services, we're very strong in direct digital marketing. I've been encouraging the team to be very specific and targeting a particular region for sales and product. So you'll be an amazing test for us to see if we can on that targeted let's say. So we're excited about that. It looks like Allison has some ideas around that also. Go ahead, Allison.
What's the matter?
I didn't raise my hand, but I did have a question. Can we exchange email addresses in the chat? Is that okay?
Yes, please put your email addresses in the chat so you guys can network directly. Allison, in addition to your personal ask about funding so you can get your branding and stuff like that done, there's definitely a need to bring you on the team. I was actually interviewing already. I already picked 2-3 people, but I know you're a little bit closer than them. And we have some projects right now for you to quote us on, including as a writer, as a general business writer. There's a need for some submission pieces to some business.
What's that?
What's it called, Kyle? What are we doing?
Thank you.
Some business plans that we're writing for a few people, some marketing plans. So I'm sure that your skill set can be used in quite a few areas. And Wanda, of course, we have our January 10th goal. So Dyme, you don't worry about numbers. This was quality. 3 people with amazing passion and reason for their businesses. Their whys are really strong. Potential for fiscal growth is all there, and potential that our angel investment would be able to be sprinkled out to help out, or our skill set was a success. So to me, today was a huge success, and I'm looking forward to the follow-up. All yours, Don.
Definitely agree. I appreciate all of you guys' time. Did anyone have any last questions before we log off?
I don't have any questions, but I really enjoyed this meeting. That's what we need. We need the motivation and we need the education.
Yes, absolutely. I really appreciate you guys. This is my first actual like hosting of a webinar. I've hosted panels in person before, but
Good job.
Thank you.
Educational. I have so many notes here. I'm so excited. I'm like, want to go back and start.
Yay. That's amazing. Well, I don't know if you guys need any help with goal setting and things like that, but we have another webinar at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's another free webinar. If you want to jump onto that, you can let us know and we'll get you on that list as well. And Ty will be on there speaking specifically about goal setting for the new year, right, Ty? That's what it is.
Yep, goal setting for 2022. Just some really key pointers to get business owners focused. You know, even those of you who are just starting, I think a lot of the problem is I don't know what to do next week, Ty. I had this passion, I had this product, but what's the next steps? I'm not lacking ambition. I'm just lacking what's next, you know? So I like to help you lay out next week. You know, I like to help you lay out the week after that, 1 month, 2 months, so we can make small progress towards the mission and the goal. So that's what the goal setting workshop is about. It's about this document that I use to help us track our goal setting, really narrow down on small wins. So I'm conducting that workshop at 7 p.m. tonight. And I would love for you guys to continue to hang on to launch coaching. Let's see where this goes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
It was great.
Yes.
I'm going
Thank you.